Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome. Either way, thank you for being here. Like I mentioned in my last video, this is going to be kind of like a movie review slash, posing the question if the movie, Split is offensive or not. It's in theaters, and Skylar and I just literally got home from watching it, and so I wanted to, while it was fresh in my mind, sit down and film a video. This video will have spoilers in it, so if you do not want to know what happens, if you haven't seen it, then don't watch. I understand. I didn't want it ruined either, but so yeah, let's just jump right into it. But I don't want to try and like speak around things and trying to watch what I say so not to give away anything. That's why I'm just going to say what happens, and that's why I gave the warning there would be spoilers. So, Split is about a guy named Kevin, and he has dissociative identity disorder, and he has 23 separate personalities that live inside him. Although you don't really see Kevin much at all. But he kidnaps 3 teenage girls, and I like the movie. I really did. The ending was not my favorite. I liked the movie really well until the ending, which, in my opinion, that's kind of how, I'm gonna butcher this name, so don't make fun of me, but that's kind of how M. Night Shyamalan's movies sometimes tend to go, is the endings suck. But, so, the movie follows all the different personalities interacting with the girls, and the girls freaking out and trying to figure out what's going on or what he wants. The 3 you see 4, I would say, personalities a lot. You see Dennis, Patricia, Hedwig, and Barry. Patricia and Dennis are the ones that believe in the beast, not the devil as in like Bible beast, but what they call the beast. Or I guess Hedwig believes too, but Hedwig is amazing. He's a 9-year-old boy. Bless his heart. He's interesting. But Dennis kidnaps the girls because the beast needs 12 like impure girls, because he wants to show the world how powerful they are. I guess people with like DID and stuff. So that's why he kills the girls, is because they're asleep and they've never been touched by anything or hurt or wounded like Kevin or like the main girl, because she was sexually assaulted and all as a young girl, and as a result cut and everything. I might end up making another video after I've had time to think about it and everything. This is just my like first impressions, kind of a rough review, but the movie's really good. While he just has the girls kidnapped, and then like Patricia and Hedwig and Dennis are just interacting with the girls separately. And the girls trying to figure out, what to do and how to get out, and you get to see some of the other personalities, like I mentioned. You get to see the therapist, and she automatically knows that Dennis is up to something and is trying to figure out what it is that he's up to. So you bounce back and forth between the girls and where he's keeping them, and then him seeing the therapist and everything. And you keep getting flashbacks of the main girl and her uncle doing things. It never shows it. It never shows him, rape her or anything, but it's strongly implied. And in my opinion, she definitely has some PTSD and some issues from that, which is totally understandable. And Kevin, he has all these personalities because his dad left when he was little, and then his mom was horrible to him, and so that's why he would disassociate himself and have these other personalities that could cope with things a bit better. And all the other personalities are nice, that you see. Patricia's interesting. Dennis is interesting. Hedwig is interesting and amazing and hilarious. When the girls first start seeing, because the first time we see Patricia, he's dressed as a girl, and they can see what they think is a woman, and they can hear the woman and Dennis talking. And so when they try and get the woman's help and the woman comes in, they're completely shocked to see that it's him dressed up as a woman with a British accent. And so, the beginning of the movie is exploring that and seeing all that take place, and the girls trying to escape and figure out a way out. Because at one point they're referenced as sacred food, and one of the girls is like, is he going to feed us to his dogs, or why are we being called food? Which I was definitely wondering that too, because you hear food when you're being held captive. That's not anything that you want to be a part of. So it's like, okay, so this is going to potentially have a very bad ending for the girls. So on to, I guess, like the later part of the movie and the beast and all, when they're first talking, like when Dennis will talk to the psychiatrist about the beast, the way he's talking about it, it seems impossible. It seems like the beast can't be real, like it's just made up, and it's just a fantasy. I knew going into the movie that there's like supernatural aspects to it. And so I was afraid that the beast was going to be the 24th personality, which was what the therapist was saying wasn't possible. But I had a feeling that it was going to be. Just based off a couple things I had heard about this movie before watching it. And sure enough, the beast is real. He turns into the beast. Which, if you ask my husband, all of that, the beast... I'm sorry about that. You guys are on a makeshift stand on top of cardboard boxes and a pillow. And then you guys tumbled. So I'm terribly sorry about that. So sorry. That's embarrassing. But, anyways. Because the beast, yes, the beast. he's describing the beast, how he gets much bigger and stronger, and has really long nails and stuff. It doesn't sound like something that could be possible. But, oh yes, I was saying that if you ask Skylar, he would say it is possible, because, like, when he's transforming into him, he'll, like, drop to the ground, and he's, like, pumping his muscles, like you would do to, like, flex if someone was gonna see, how big your muscle is. And then his veins kind of pop out, and his muscles, he gets a little bit bigger, not significantly, but, so, he's, Skylar thinks all that's possible until at the end where he's walking on the wall, and then that's where you lose the whole actual being possible thing. But, so, the beast, he's real. And the therapist finally catches on to this and everything, and is asking, like, okay, so if the beast is real, then what is it that, he has to feast on, like, impure girls, and then she decides to try and leave. She puts a handkerchief in the door, to keep it from shutting all the way. She puts it where the lock goes in, which comes into play later. And then she finds one of the girls trapped and gets really upset. And then Dennis figures out that she doesn't understand. And so he drugs her like he drugs the girls in the beginning. Later on, she wakes up. She's very dazed and confused. Can't do much. She manages to scribble something on a piece of paper. And then the beast comes in and says a few things. And then she tries speaking, but she's unable to. And then he grabs her from behind and eventually crushes her like a snake would around her torso, breaking her bones. You can hear them crack. So then she's dead. And then the main girl, I am terribly sorry, I cannot remember her name, gets out. She finds one of her friends in the closet, and she's dead, and her stomach has been chewed on, I guess. I don't know. He's eaten her. Pleasant, I know. And then she goes to see her other friend, who is kind of alive, and she goes to help her, but then she gets drug off by the beast, and then you see the beast actually feasting on her. And then the main girl, who had watched some video diaries that some of the authors had, or no. The main girl tries to get away. She finds the piece of paper that the therapist had written on, which said speak his name, which his name is Kevin something Crumb. And it says speak his name. And that'll bring Kevin out. So the beast comes in and he is climbing on the wall, which is like wallpaper, like that. I mean, there's like nothing to grip to. And he's on the wall. And the poor girl tries saying his name, but the first few times it just doesn't really come out because she's so shocked to see a human being climbing on the wall, understandably. So then Kevin comes out, tells her where a gun is to use it, which luckily she used to go hunting with her dad, so she knows how to use a shotgun. So Kevin tells her to kill him, but then because she spoke his name, all the personalities are trying to come out, and then Patricia and Dennis ultimately end up taking control again. So she runs, eventually gets somewhere. The beast is like climbing on the ceiling, knocking all the lights out, explaining why he's doing it, that, anybody else doesn't deserve to live if they haven't dealt with what I take it to mean, if they haven't dealt with like mental issues. And she keeps shooting at him with a shotgun, and he's like, your gun can't do anything to me. Kevin is a man, but I'm so much more. She does land 2 shots, and she's behind an iron gate that looks like prison bars. And he's trying to get to her, and he's pulling them apart, and then he looks down, and her shirt has been torn, and she has cut marks everywhere from cutting and everything. So then he realizes that she's actually like them in a way, and lets her live. So then she gets out, and then you see him later, and he's okay. The bullets didn't actually pierce him. They damaged his skin a little bit, but not too bad. And then you see a conversation between Dennis, Patricia, and Hedwig. And Dennis is like, we need to trust in him. This is just proof of what he can do. We're fine. We survived, shotgun blasts. So we need to trust in him. He's right. He's going to show the world how powerful we are. That's basically how that ends. And then you end with a weird scene in the diner with Bruce Willis, and they're referencing something. I don't know. I've not seen whatever movie they're referencing there at the end. So I know I've rambled, and this review probably is not very good. So I apologize. I liked it, except for the Beast. I could have dealt with that, but the climbing on the wall seemed a bit too out there for me, personally. But I liked the movie. I don't think it was offensive in any way. I don't think it showed anything in a bad light. I think that's a topic for another video, but as just this movie alone, I've heard people say stuff that it was like transphobic, just because one of his alters was a female, and then he would dress accordingly when he was her. I don't think that is anything to do with transphobia. That makes perfect sense to me. Is if you have an alter who is female and you're male, you're still going to dress like her when she's the one in the light and in charge. She feels like she's a woman, so she's going to dress like a woman. I don't know. That just makes sense to me. But I didn't find the movie offensive. I don't get offended easily either. But to me, it's entertainment. And I don't think they did anything wrong. They weren't saying that people with DID, they weren't saying all people with that are violent. It's just one guy. I think they did a really good job. And let me just say, James McAvoy, who plays Kevin, oh my gosh, 10 out of 10 for acting for that guy. Wow. He killed it. He was amazing in that movie. Amazing. So I liked it. I thought, I'd give it, if I was rating it, I'd give it 7.5 out of 10. Maybe an 8. And a good portion of the reason that gets a high rating for me is the acting. Plus, the first 75% of the movie is amazing. I loved it. And even Skylar did, which surprised me. So, I didn't think this was going to be his kind of movie, but he really liked it. So, I see the timer is getting to almost close to 20 minutes. I don't want to keep the video going any longer. I will make a separate video talking about mental health being used as entertainment and used as horror, although I wouldn't define this movie as a horror film. Horror film. I don't know what that is. If you do, tell me, but I don't. Horror film. But I do want to, I think that is a discussion to have, but in I cannot speak. In a later video. So, yeah, if you have any pointers or tips on how I can make videos better, leave it down in the comments. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. It'd be greatly appreciated. If you're new, welcome. Don't forget to don't forget to subscribe, please. That way you don't miss out on videos from me stuttering and not being able to speak. So yeah, I'd appreciate it. Like, subscribe, or dislike, either way. Comment. And I will see y'all on the next video, I guess. Bye, guys.